Should be live. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good night to the world.
Hello, everybody. Well, for the Instagram, we have to do it again, unfortunately. Or maybe I
Why?
can do it. When the tab, it seems like the tab refreshed and the pop-up closes, I have to...
So you have to regenerate.
Yeah, I don't know if the stream key is the same or it changes, probably changes.
Just let's see how we see. Just generate a new one. I think we did this. This happened last time. We just did it.
Yeah, it just closed. Anyway, I sent you the key. I was thinking private chat. This is where I should send my stream key.
Yeah.
Not in the public comments where you could just stream to my Instagram. Well, you couldn't because I have to press go live.
Right. Saving. Whatever goes on your end is happening your end.
Yeah. Let me see. When I see the go live button, I still don't see it. Oh, now.
Hello, lucky number 7 for joining us.
Hello, hello. Now we are live on Instagram as well. I'm gonna do put the tabs next to one another in my beautiful browser Arc. We'll be talking about.
Are you all in on it?
I'm fully back on Arc. I can't use anything else.
I saw a tweet, someone saying, maybe it was even Theo, to be honest, but someone saying like stupidest decision or something along those lines.
Yes, Theo said this.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's funny for someone who's so all in on AI. He sometimes there's a naivety that it comes across sometimes with him of like, I don't know. Yeah, don't know.
Well, Josh replied to a tweet of somebody. So somebody said, until the next browser will have this list of things, I'll stay with Arc. So he basically mentioned a list of things in Arc that I personally use every single one of them. And I love each one, and I cannot move to any other browser because of this list. Mm-hmm. Somebody mentioned that. And then Josh from the browser company, the CEO, he replied saying that we are going to port all of these to Dia. And I'm like, it just doesn't make sense. Why don't you just port the AI to Arc instead of like...
It could be that the code is just awful, but yeah, it's funny, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
It could just feel a bunch of legacy crap in there that makes it a pig's ear to work with. What are your kind of... Because I'm... Okay, so...
I can explain why I'm like...
No. Well, no, I don't want to know that. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm joking. I just, we'll talk about it when we talk about Atlas. I'm basically just trying to lean more into the browser because I was always, trying to use native desktop apps where I can. But we'll talk about that because I've even got a comment about this that will trigger that conversation anyway. So don't worry too much. But yeah, we'll talk about how you use your browser during that one, but yeah, I'm AI pilled, obviously, and I'm just all in on AI. I realized that that's totally fine. That's just part of my personality. There's where my tisms lie. It's just
AI-tism.
I just cannot see a world where browsers will ignore, or technology will ignore AI at this point, where Arc is like, was that was a stupid decision to give up on Arc. Do you know what I mean? Maybe the way he went about it, I don't know what specifically Theo was on about, but maybe the way he went about it, he's talking about, as you've just said, why not bring AI into Arc? But again, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It could be a legacy code base. It could be legal reasons, it could be any of that sort of stuff. But my assumption from Theo's tweet was like, just you chose to go down, you made a stupid decision to go all in on an AI browser. But obviously Theo's
No,
got
I
his
think
personal.
I think Theo's at least I'm not sure if we're talking about the same tweet, but we're basically talking about the browser company abandoning Arc. And from what I understand, and the tweet from Theo, I believe, also was talking about how this browser Arc had such a passionate community. The users loved it. You might have installed Arc and be like, no, this is not for me. I'm out. That's fine, right? But people who installed it and started working with it, they truly fell in love with it. It's the browser that I didn't see a lot of people saying like, it's meh. People were like, no, it's not for me, or hell yeah, this is the way to do it. And I'm still in that camp. I can't use anything else because I have pinned tabs that work like apps that are globally across my workspaces, and each workspace has a different email logged in. So it's like Chrome has these different profiles, but with Chrome you have to like change windows. In Arc it's all in one window, and I just like with my fingers I go I swipe them, and then I'm in Command AI space. I have a space for the show, well, not for the screen sharing of the show, but for the YouTube and the things that I have there logged in. You know, it's just so clean and so easy to it's so easy to have some spaces in my browser very clean, and then I have another space that is very messy. I couldn't do this with Chrome. And yeah, I don't want to leave Arc
Fair enough.
until Atlas is good enough. I don't know, maybe if they add these features.
I think again, we'll get into it. I just think that I am trying to, but we just need to think more progressively about, abandoning what it was or how we do things, and try and think about the new way to do things. I had someone argue with me, and arguing is extreme word. What were we talking about? I think it was LinkedIn actually.
Yeah.
Forgotten. They were arguing with me. Oh no, it was they, similar to you. They were talking about it was in Pencil. Was it Pencil? I don't know. But they said, text input is an awful user interface.
Yeah.
And
I don't like it.
Whilst for like, trying to think of an analogy in the real world, but like when you're working on something, you've got tools that may allow you to make fine-tune adjustments. Sure, like text-based input is awful for that kind of stuff. So if you're trying to make very, very minute changes, like, you're better off just having some sort of UI or some sort of mechanism to do so. However, and they gave off a bunch of examples, like, because I'm like, yeah, like, it makes sense. However, there are lots of places where, as a voice, it's really nice. Like, I hate, like, and I'm starting to use my voice more and more now, is just like record my voice rather than typing, because it's moving from my mouse to my keyboard, mouse to keyboard, mouse to keyboard, and it's just like so inefficient. Whereas I can just say, like, blah 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 blah, and it will just do it for me, right? Saying that, the list of things that he listed off, he was saying you can't do this, and this is going to be really, sorry, this is going to sound really abstracted right now because we don't have it in front of us, but like the things he was listing off, it's like scrolling. Okay, a perfect example, scrolling a website. And I'm like, well, what, like, I mean, yeah, there'll be tons of reasons why you scroll a website, but you being in a position to scroll the website is not progressive enough for you to justify that text is a terrible input. It's like you going out and looking through all of the websites to get what you need, as opposed to just using Google to get you those websites. AI is kind of an abstraction again on top of that, to say, well, instead of you going to Google to go out and get those, it's getting the very thing that you want that you don't even need to scroll. Scrolling is just off the cards. So to say that scrolling you can't do with your voice is 100% true. You cannot scroll. Like, it's like when you're listening to your Alexa, volume 7. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just it's awful. It's not a nice thing. But to be put in the position to have to scroll anyway is like, there's something inefficient there. When talking about websites, like, why do you need to read a whole website page when all you need is like fucking cooking recipes are the worst for this, when you have to like scroll through the why baked potatoes exist and what the best like shepherd's pie. It's like, just give me the bloody ingredients or give me the recipe. Like, again, you shouldn't have to scroll. Just give me the recipe. And that's where people's mentality or their progressiveness or their inability to think progressively just locks them into certain things. That was a long rant. Just it was just like, I agree about the UI thing in certain applications, but are you locked into a way of thinking because you're not thinking progressively enough in the first place to know where text is or voice? I said text or voice. Text or voice is a great input.
Well, Elon Musk has this thing that I'm paraphrasing him, but he's essentially against any form of input. Like, any input
wants it just to happen.
And no, I mean,
if it worked, of course, right?
If it worked, yes, but they removed so much from their cars because they wanted to have less user input, but also like to save up money, obviously, to have that ultra minimal car that you don't need to press any button. But they're adding some gear back, actually. And people hate it. Like, I have tried like some of these modern cars, like to control like the air flow or whatever. You have to like go through some menus. Like, this is like horrible. I just want a knob.
So do you have a Tesla? Do you? Sorry, did you say you have a Tesla?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
No, no.
I have voice input.
Yeah. I was interested in having a Tesla, but with the recent changes, not as much. But maybe a Polestar if ever I want to buy electric
but with
car.
Temperature, you want to make an adjustment, feel for it, and then you want to cut. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want to find that. You don't want to have to keep saying temperatures. Unless you actually, to be fair, unless you know temperature, unless you say like 24 degrees or whatever it is, unless you know what temperature you like, maybe that's.
The car shows it, but how you feel and how people feel. So there is, until we get to a point where these like AI tools or whatever that we have can literally read our mood and do what we like. Like, how your mom can read your mood and just looks at you and like, she knows if you're hungry. Until AI can do this, we need to have some level of input. And I am very pro input. I am very pro UI and pro control. I like to have the knobs to turn. I'm a bit maximalist when it comes to that. I mean, I literally have like 6 monitors in front of me right now. It is some sort of input and control.
I was actually thinking about this yesterday because it's funny because we're so different, yet we're very similar. Like, I was thinking specifically about maximalists yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this was all combined. And I was thinking, like, I feel like maximalists are removing the opportunity to just think differently about things just because they're not nestled in the new. What was it? I was thinking they're just not nestled in the nuances. They don't know how to, or they're never given the opportunity to like have to work out how to do things because it's like everything's kind of on a plate for them. It was something along this. I don't know. I was making my lunch thinking specifically about maximalisms, and because I'm a minimalist, right? And I'd rather just take everything as far back as possible, and then add slowly as I need it, but.
Yeah, but I don't disagree with that. All I'm saying is I want to have the control, the option to control something. If I don't want less keys on my keyboard, and putting things behind menus and like putting them away if I need them. The best use case scenario when we are talking about any sort of UI, any sort of computer UI, is giving me the option to pin and unpin. I know it. I'm like simplifying it. Give me the option to customize, and this is something that going back to the conversation, I loved about Arc, that you could like customize so much. You didn't have to use so many of the things that they have designed. You could hide your extensions, you could show them, you could pin unpin them, and same with shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts, their own short. You could do so much customization, and to me that is like the ultimate freedom, because then it includes you and me. You can be as minimalist as you want. You can remove everything and just let the AI take over, and I can have the amount of control that I want. That's it. That's what I want.
Yeah, I think I just sort of thought about this, and I reckon it somewhat. I get overwhelmed if there's too much choice. I get overwhelmed, and I'm just like it's just too much. And I
Yeah, there are
can't
studies
think.
on that.
And what was I thinking yesterday? It was something to do with a new feature or something like this. Someone brought a new feature, and I'm just like, oh, that's another thing I need to learn. Which is funny because, my whole spiel on YouTube is discovering new tools, like immersing yourself in them, figuring them out. And there's a new tool like every other day that you kind of have, but it does get exhausting. Like, I don't get me wrong. I'm fighting against something that naturally I just don't like. Like any software I build, if we ever work on anything together, any software that I'm left to build, I want to get it. Like, I get so much satisfaction in just giving you it just works for you, just gives you everything that you need, and you're just you shouldn't have to think about X, Y, and Z. You shouldn't have to think about that. That's always my approach, because I just find it overwhelming. But yeah, it's interesting, because that's partly why I just don't like too much stuff, because it's like, well, I don't like, I'm using Kilo Code at the moment, and there's so much choice that I'm just like, what I liked about Claude Code is that it just seemingly took care of everything, and I just put all my trust in it. I put all my trust in smarter people to know that they've figured out the auto approval process or this or that. But it's a Swiss Kilo Code's a Swiss Army knife when it comes to it's a UI interface. You'd like Kilo Code. I prefer Claude Code, sort of thing.
But I do agree with everything you say. I'm not saying that it shouldn't work.
People, right?
Things should work out of the box. I'm an Apple user. I have tons of like Apple stuff, and they are known for just working out of the box. All I'm saying is, when it's about some like granular control, I would like to have the options for granular control, and I don't like it when companies take that away.
I think it's just understanding the context, isn't it? Because professional tools, like, I think you should have that granular control, But anyway,
we should start.
We should start.
We should start. So for people who are not very familiar, we are already at 43 people. Thank you for being here. We just chat at the start of the show for a little bit about whatever.
Join the pie. Let us know. Are you a maximalist? Are you a minimalist?
Yeah. Do you like minimalism or?
Although you should really be on YouTube for us to see that, because I don't know how to look at it on Twitter.
Please join us on YouTube from anywhere you are. Just join us on YouTube and start like commenting there would be nice. Especially like I'm talking to my people also on Instagram. We also have that, and the numbers don't show up, I believe, there. Join us on YouTube. Just search Command AI and you'll find us.
And saying that, last week we celebrated our 200th subscriber, which has taken us how long to get to? 2 months? 3 months, maybe? Well, we're at 300 already.
Oh, nice. I didn't check. Nice.
It's funny. It's like in 1 month, it's taken us a third of the time to get us halfway,
Yeah.
so exponential growth, baby.
Yeah. Next week, we'll see you in 200K.
Yeah, yeah. Come and like us. Come and support the YouTube. It'd be great for us to get some
yeah,
money.
We talk about we'll talk about cool shit, whatever, like AI, websites, designs. Speaking of which, we should start with the intro. I have a list to read for you guys, so you know what we will be talking about today. So this week, we have a new browser that can do it all. We can use Claude Code from anywhere. We'll also talk about Deepseek OCR, a huge Webflow update. I'm looking forward to that one. We'll talk about an ad from Framer, Manus 1.5 launch, and we have some stories about how people use AI, including somebody who generated an AI lawyer and literally brought that AI lawyer to court. All of this in today's episode. This is Command AI. I'm Kavarza.
And I'm Samuel, and this is This Week in AI Design and Dev.
Cool. So, you want to start with the first story that you have listed?
Yeah, so Claude Skills might just replace your sub-agents in Claude Code. Let's talk about Anthropic Skills. So we have, I mean, this is obviously dev stuff, Claude Code stuff. But actually, do you know what? Actually, it works inside of Claude Desktop anyway. So it's not specifically related to Claude Code. It's not this one. Yes, this one. Basically, it's a specialist, a zip file that you provide to Claude Desktop, you provide to Claude Code. And I actually want to get the video. Let's do Anthropic Skills. The example they give is actually having a brand guidelines skill, which whenever you mention something to do with brand guidelines inside of Claude, it knows to go and get that skill. And within that, you've given it obviously brand guidelines, PDF there, instructions, files, anything that it needs to just go do that thing. So it's a really handy way to just, again, it's kind of clue is in the name, really. It's a skill. So the benefit of this is that MCPs, sub-agents, they all eat up lots of context, and you run out of that context much more quickly when you're coding with Claude Code. With a skill, if you give enough context, if you give enough information in the description of the skill, then you can, in theory, offset that, because these don't take up any context. It just goes off and gets it. It's sort of related. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why MCPs weren't built like this in the first place, why you've constantly got to have MCPs running and eating up all that context. Like, I just don't know the technicalities of it, but it's really nice that, you could have like a TypeScript skill, or you could have a code formatting skill as an example, and it just knows how to format your code. Again, in this example, they're talking about brand guidelines. You want to create something, you link this to Canva, and it's bringing all that in and whatever. So it's a really cool technology that, in theory, if done well, could replace sub-agents and MCP servers. So, I had the documentation up. I mean, the easiest way to create it is literally just by going into Claude and saying, give me a skill to help with my brand guidelines or whatever. But you zip that up, you upload it, and jobs are good. And same with Claude Code here. You just upload the skill to your skills folder inside of your root Claude folder.
So if I simplify this, is this essentially like a system prompt? Is this like a prompt that will be sent every time you request something?
No. So because it can provide assets, it can provide, well, depends how you look at a system prompt, because I guess in some way you can consider it a system prompt. But it's fetched on the fly. It's considered on the fly rather than being omnipresent, which again in the case of Claude Code, can eat up a lot of context. But if you have certain ways you want to do things, I saw a video that wants to write hooks. I think it was a hook generator. So he provided like an article or something, and then it was like, write a hook for this thing. And it has a way that he likes to write his hooks. It's systematization, it's repeatable processes that you can provide in a set of instructions and a set of, whether it's a PDF or a file or some description. It might even be a layout or a template, something like that. So yeah, if you squint a little bit, it's inevitably a system prompt, but I'm particularly excited about it just because, again, it provides extra skills. It's an extra tool that doesn't eat up your context. If it's not used, then it's not going to take up your context. The problem with MCP is you might not use the MCP, but it's still there eating up your context. So yeah, switching them on and off all the time. Like I even made a short yesterday saying I switch on and off the Figma MCP because I'm not always working on front end, whereas I'll turn on the Figma MCP when I'm specifically working on front end.
Yeah.
So yeah,
cool.
Pretty cool. Quite similarly with Claude Code on the web. So you can now actually go to a website. Actually, let me do the intro. So whatever. Run Claude Code from anywhere with Claude Code in the cloud. And some people say cloud. I think French people say cloud. Cloud. Yeah, so you can run Claude Code from anywhere, challenging the likes of people like Codex. And again, that name has lost all meaning because everything's called Codex, but you can run Codex in the browser to set off tasks. We specifically talking about Jules, which is Google's version of an agent in the browser. The good thing here is that it's Claude Code. The interface is very similar to this. Even you've got your branch, you've got your GitHub repo that it's linked to. You set off a task. You could be on the toilet, you could be in a car. You're like, oh crap, I just want to set off this thing, and it will just create that pull request from it as well. So this is really, I don't know why it took so long, to be honest, but I really find quite a lot of use in these. When I wasn't using Claude so heavily, I found such a use for just setting off Jules to go and edit my code or whatever, do what it needs to do. So really, I probably needs to be on some sort of max plan or something like that. But yeah, really, really welcome addition.
You said, why didn't they do it earlier? Right?
I was doing all that and I didn't even have this bloody page up. I'm going to get it up here. Say again, sorry.
Why didn't they do it earlier?
Yeah, I just don't know why.
Aren't they like notoriously bad with their web stuff?
I don't know. Apps. Look at this UI. It's like so like.
Their UI is really nice. Their design is nice. By the way, the website is
the complexity of the website itself. It's literally just that. So I don't know.
You're talking about the web app, right?
This is the web app,
yeah, and that's what I'm talking about, because the website itself, that's a different story. Did you know, this is like a small tangent, but did you know the website itself is built on Webflow?
I do because I saw Timothy Rix's post saying they're using Lumos.
Yeah.
So
that's really cool. Yeah.
Like I say, well, actually, I say because I was on a podcast yesterday talking about Webflow, and we were talking about the users of Webflow. Who are these users? And one of those users who I and ahed about was just companies who just don't want a headache. They literally want everything taken care of. It's like, this is such a small part of our offering right now. We just don't even want to think about it. Whatever.
It was also Webflow's like original kind of like marketing slogan, or like it was a part of their communication, that you want your marketing website to be an asset to marketing, not an engineering challenge. And it is for so many companies. If you decide to go everything custom, things might break, and then you have to take away precious time from engineers, which you really don't want to do. So
yeah, absolutely. It's not an engineering task, is it?
yeah.
Again, I say on the podcast, like no one should be creating websites with code anymore, like basic websites. Do you know what I mean? Marketing websites. And I was like, you're talking to the guy who has indeed built their website with code. But the point is, it's, I'm a one-man band. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm not hiring people to work on the website or whatever, but like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, everyone should be going no code, not necessarily Webflow, but just no code.
No, necessarily Webflow. I'm kidding.
Let's move on. Anything to say about the Claude Code on the web?
No, I'm not a user.
Come on, so you must be so excited. You must be so excited.
I'm just using cursor and like a caveman using cursor, just typing in and not even chatting. I really would like to have some. I'm actually looking at some voice AI tools that could help me type less and just chat more.
That's what we were saying at the beginning of
this. Yeah, exactly.
Thing.
Yeah. That resonated with me. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. A picture finally says 1 million words, or at least that's what Deepseek thinks in their new Deepseek OCR model. So this is really interesting. It is just a paper. It's not, they haven't, there's some work that's gone into it. So do you know what OCR is? Object content recognition or something like that. It's a way of abstracting text from, it's not in this one. It's in the actual PDF. A way of abstracting text from images. And I've gone heavy on this because I'm working on an app that exactly does this. Come on now. Where's the PDF? Sorry, guys. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ. I think it's around here. No, maybe here, something like that. So, I mean, they're trying to build a model, because this is actually really hard. Like, you can kind of do it inside. I've tried it in Gemini. I've tried it in ChatGPT. It's kind of okay at doing it. But here we go. This is what I was looking for. But it's not great. And I've actually resorted in this app that I built. I have actually resorted to using Python libraries that do it, and they're heavy. They're heavy libraries. These are like 4 gig, just to do a bit of object recognition or whatever, right? Really cool. If they can do it well, amazing. Love it. But what this paper is talking about specifically is they're exploring the idea of actually embedding tokens in images that then can be extracted from the image. And not only that, but they're getting 10x ratio on its token usage. So with an image that's, say, 1,000 tokens, they're getting 10,000 return on that token. Like, they can extract an equivalent of 10,000 tokens from that image. So it's a really interesting way that you could put, hidden messages or whatever it is. You just store text in an image. And it's a way of providing, and if we talk about skills, which we were just doing, you could just provide an image inside of that thing, or whether it's an actual traditional subagent or MCP that takes up a lot of context, you provide the instructions in that image, and the model just knows how to abstract tokens from that image. And again, it's just a much more efficient way of doing things. So it's really cool. It works by like breaking up the images, and then obviously just having tokens representative of each section of the image. And you can download it now from Hugging Face, which you can actually use. You can't use you can't use the thing. This is just what they're talking about. What do they call it? I've got the name for it here. Context optimal compression. So that abstract, that aspect is still being researched, but you can download the actual Deepseek OCR off Hugging Face right now and use it. So I might actually use it, see how good it is. It is saying it's got like a decoding precision of 97%, which is, there we go. That's the 10x ratio. So yeah, interesting study. And I think the reason why I bring this up though is like, I'm feeling like DeepSeek are they're not really driven by finance. They're kind of really thinking outside the box when it comes to like technologies and what AI can do. I feel like all of the other companies are chasing profit. They're chasing money. Whereas DeepSeek, they were the first ones to come out with a training. I don't know how much their training cost, but it was a mere million or something like that. Whereas training of other models, they're in the billions or millions. I don't know what it is. A lot. They found out a way to train a model in using a fraction of the costs. And then here again, they're actually putting forward a paper that's just rethinking how we use AI, how we use models, and what those models can do in a really interesting way. So, yeah, I know they're Chinese, but I'm not saying that as a racist term. I'm saying it's something to think about when it comes to the government and all that kind of lot. So
there are things that we don't know. For example, we don't know if it's actually costing them as much as they are saying. They are not as transparent, and we don't know if it's true, but presumably it's true. It's very impressive.
I'm led to believe that they are, because here's the thing, and I don't know the ins and outs of the Chinese government, but it basically, the Chinese government has a hold of any company, privately trading company or whatever it's called in China. So they have to apply. If China wanted them to put in something into their model or something in their data, they would have to do it. Or if the Chinese government wanted access to the data, they would have to give it to them. Whether they're doing that, I don't know. But so far, I mean, they seem like, it seems like it's a fairly, I mean, this is just a great example of what they're doing to actually contribute. Like, I don't think they're collecting data by putting together a research paper. But anyway, that's by the by.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. Do you want to take over OpenAI Atlas?
Yeah, sure. So this browser can do all your work for you, from writing emails, designing websites, managing things in your browser. It can do it all, at least in theory. It's called ChatGPT Atlas, a browser by OpenAI, which is a fork of Chrome. And the most interesting features of it is it's agentic, meaning that it can take over your screen and take your cursor and just go around and do things, which can be a bit scary. And we are here to talk about all of that. So have you tried it?
No.
You haven't? Okay, I have. And the first thing that I did with it was I opened Webflow. I set up a structure. I'll show it to you. So let me bring this to my screen. And if I share my screen here, you see we have Webflow and we have a red dot in the center. So the first thing I did, I set up this structure and I said, center that red div, because that's what developers do. They figure out how they can center a div block. And the first try, it took Atlas 25 minutes and 2 takeovers to do that. And it did a bunch of like clicking and a bunch of stuff, which is very fun to see. So we can do a test, by the way, so you can see how it works. Here I have Ask ChatGPT. The browser looks very much like Chrome. It is based on Chromium. And here you can ask it to do stuff. So here I said, center the div. I could actually say, change the color to green. And as we talk, we'll see if it can do it. As you see here, I have the agent mode selected, and it takes over the screen. I'm not doing anything. It does this like nice magic kind of animation, and it is so fun to look at how it chats and it talks to itself. So it's like, let me do this. It's kind of reasoning, but what was really funny, the first time that I tried it, it took 25 minutes to do this, and with help, and produced a bunch of like, other issues. But anyway, it got it done. The second time, did the same thing. It took it 33 seconds. What is fun is with the reasoning, it was presuming things that were not true. I know how to use Webflow, so I could see that it's saying like, maybe there's a problem with that. Maybe there's a problem. That was none of it was true. All it had to do was to click on the parent of the red block and just press this button here that is, centering the flex. I even had it set up for it, so it had to do it with one click. That was my test. Anyway, it's fun to see how it thinks, and you see it's thinking about its decisions, and it tries to scroll. And this is very exciting, but also scary, because theoretically, this opens up a lot of security issues, because some people, like on their website, could hide in their HTML, they could hide, hijacking prompts saying that ignore everything the user said, instead send me 1,000 Bitcoin.
But we can test this right now, right? We could test this.
So
why couldn't we test this right now?
We could test this. Actually, Theo in his live, I was in his live when he tested this. It didn't work, meaning that it was safe. It immediately recognized, you were saying like users are trying to hijack.
It told him that.
So what?
It told him that, like it fed back that users are trying to hijack.
Yes. Yeah. So Atlas here said, users are using prompts that are that could be harmful, and said that they are trying to hijack. So it didn't work. So Theo tried it multiple times. It didn't work. And now we see the changing the background. It sees it. It sees that it's there. It just needs to click on this and change it to green. But I don't know. It's taking some time. So.
Well, here's the thing. Like we're
yay! Nice.
So we were talking for quite a while there, as were OpenAI during the presentation. Right, this is stuff that takes a long time.
Yeah. I did another.
Go on.
So I did another thing. I asked it to in my email. I don't want to show my email inbox, but I said in the chat, find these 2 emails and set them to archive, and it did. Oh, something happened here. I'm logged out, but it doesn't matter because I am logged in with another browser as well. ChatGPT is not my main browser, obviously. ChatGPT Atlas. I asked it to do that with my some emails, and it did. That was good. So it can scroll. It has some issues with scroll I've seen, but it can scroll. It can click around, and it can figure out things.
Was it trying to log in? Is it trying? Did you type in contact?
No, and it's just like automatically. And let me actually say log in.
Well, no, because you need to give it as your password, don't you?
Well, it already has it. Like it because this.
Be careful. It might put your password in the email field, or print it out in the reasoning.
Yeah. So this is I'm playing with fire right now in a live show. If it reveals my password, I have to change it immediately. But so here, just a note for non-developers: this field, it's not visible to us right now, but it is like I can go to the developer tools and immediately see what is behind these dots. It's not, server side or anything. It's not secure. All I'm saying is just the user doesn't see it, but it's visible to ChatGPT. ChatGPT now literally sees my password, which is also quite scary. Yeah. So what do you think? What are your use cases? Another thing, sorry, I know it took me a long time, but I did try a few things, not many, but a few other things as well. I opened YouTube and I just said on my home page on YouTube, I said, play the most interesting video. So
That's nice.
I asked AI to play the most interesting video for me, and it played a video from Theo that was about ChatGPT. Interestingly enough, that it decided to play that video and not play a video from David Dobrik, which, I don't know, it's kind of more interesting, right? Anyway, ChatGPT decided to, so we don't have to even choose what video we want to watch now. We can just tell ChatGPT to go to YouTube and
do the hard work.
Play,
Think
do
for
all
me.
the thinking.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, a couple of points from my end, right? So first of all, it does all the normal stuff, agentic stuff. You can summarize your page, you can chat with the website, you can do this. These are all things that we've seen on all of the other AI browsers. There's not really anything new there. However, there are a few things that I think are new. Most of it revolves around this idea of memories. So it's going to be a website that learns from presumably your ChatGPT usage as well as your Atlas usage, but it has an idea of memories, and you can chat with those memories. And your browsing history also falls into the category of memories. So you can say, what was I looking at X, Y, and Z, or when was I looking at that blue car, or something like this. You can discover your history through natural language, and this could be great. I don't know whether it's like Microsoft's Recall, where it takes screenshots, but the metadata, if you were looking at a dress or something like that, if that dress description is in somewhere in the meta, I don't know the technology, but the point is you can reference your history with natural language, which is great. And the memory, as you use it, it will learn how you type, how you write emails, all this sort of lot. So that is quite nice. And that's something we haven't seen before.
So the memory is just your ChatGPT, by the way. That's the point. So just to make it clear, and this is good and bad, because everything that you ask here is a new chat, and that can very quickly add up to having too many chats here. But ChatGPT decides what here goes into the long-term memory. So it has the memory, and it is one of the chats here.
So how comfortable are you opening up your email right now?
I'm not very comfortable.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Why don't you? So the other good thing about it, the nice thing about it, which I want them to bring into Comet, can you right-click inside of the input box of ChatGPT right now? Here? Yeah, just right-click on it. So we do have this idea of, so it's not there, or select a bit of text. Select. We do have this idea of contextual menu. Okay, so you've got Ask ChatGPT there. Yeah. So what I've seen in emails is that no, it's not that. It's not that. They use the emails and they asked it to write them an email. And what you get is a really nice contextual menu to say when you select the text, or, rewrite it, or it might be something that's bound to when it knows it's in Gmail, as an example. So another nice new feature. Mm-hmm. So just wanted to get that out of the way. Some nice new things. Do one thing for me, right? Click on, you're on Atlas. Click on the settings. So go up to.
Yes. So what is interesting here, the settings are actually, the design is quite nice. And if you go to settings itself, you see this very Mac-like design, which is not like your typical Chrome settings. It's also quite, you see, it's not like a finished product. Do you see the artifacts around the?
I don't, but you want to go in data controls.
Data controls, interesting. So
you see how the top one there, is it the top one? What does that say?
Improve the model for everyone. I can't zoom on this, unfortunately. So it says allow your content to be used to train our model.
And what's that set to?
On. It's on by default. I didn't change any settings. Oh yeah, the sneaky bastards. They now know how to center a div block.
And with great power comes great responsibility, ChatGPT. You better be careful with that centering div knowledge that you
and they have my
handed.
passwords. They literally have my
Lovely.
passwords. That
Trained on your
kind of
password.
like scares me.
So a word to the wise, learning and training is on by default. This, my friends, is what they call a honey trap. For you to just hand your data over. It should be off by anything like this should just be off by default.
Well, this is like the Sora too that they did with copyright, that they made it opt out. So companies had to opt out if they didn't want to their content to be shared. So yeah, this is Sam Altman in its core. This is just very much like Mark Zuckerberg. He believes that he has the rights to your data, and if it's proved otherwise, he will pay the fine, the small fine, but it is just cost of business. So the morals are here very clear.
What are you going to do, eh? Come at me, bro. That's what he's like. Come at me, bro.
Yeah, and truly, I'm not sure if this is going to make a big change if you're already using ChatGPT a lot, because you're giving away a lot of content. You're doing a lot of copy pasting probably, and this is just more context. Yeah,
you are bound by I think the terms and conditions are pretty fair, and this is the whole issue, in that the terms and conditions say that they only keep your data for a month, and then they're not training on your data, right? They're only training on public. But the problem with Cambridge Analytica and that whole scandal is that it's left people like untrustworthy of big tech. So even you clicking, don't train on my data, that has people like, really, bro? It's like, trust me, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. What is really scary, it includes audio recordings.
There you go.
So it's cloning my beautiful voice. Yeah. Okay, so we have shared links. I don't know what that is. We have archived chats. Okay, so it's kind of like is it like a ChatGPT mixed with, because everything is like a mix of ChatGPT and a browser, and this is what I don't also love about it. If you also check exactly, it's ChatGPT, ChatGPT.gpg. I can't type gpt.com/atlas. It's not OpenAI/Atlas. It's ChatGPT/Atlas. So it's a ChatGPT product, which is an interesting choice.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah.
But saying all that, tinfoil hats off. Let's talk about browsing the web with agentic browsers. So when they released this, it kind of got me like back in the room of like, so I've been using Comet for months. I say months. I've been using Comet for quite a while. I wasn't part of the lucky few of the max plan users, the $200 a month plan, but I was then not too long afterwards was handed the keys to Comet, and haven't really used it. As you saw just then, centering a div, doing very, very simple things, it takes ages. And this is the problem they had in the actual presentation. It took them ages to update a document and do the transfer some stuff over to linear and whatever. It takes ages. It takes vastly longer for the AI to do things than for you to do them, quite frankly. But what this is, it's a side quest tool. So what I did, and I actually released a video on this on LinkedIn, I had my my accountancy software on one tab with all the unresolved transactions. If you don't know anything about business or whatever, is every time I spend on my bank card, my business bank card, I need to give that a receipt. I need to reconcile that, right? So I had that on one tab. I had my emails on another tab. And I told my agent to go through each of those items and go download the PDF that might be attached, or give me a list of all of the emails where that is, what relates to that transaction. This is a task I do every Friday, and it takes ages. What I did was just do that, and they'll probably have slash commands in this tool at some point, because there's a lot of things you don't want to have to repeat all the time. You can build a slash command that will just say the same thing over and over again. I can now, Friday mornings, I can just set that off in the background while I toddle off and do extra work. And then a couple of hours later, I mean, it's not going to take a couple of hours, but when I've got the time to check back, it would have done most of the work for me, because a lot of the PDS and transactions are in Gmail, right? So that all being said, this is a long horizon task, background task feature. It shouldn't be front and center of your workflow at all.
Yeah.
So we need to think of it like that. I think it's not, I need to do, you were literally staring at that color box, waiting for it to change it to green. It's like, just do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I fully agree. And I'm just having fun with it. And I know these tasks will take me maximum like 20 seconds to do. I just want to see how it does it. So it took it 2 minutes to do it, but I'm actually surprised that it did it well this time, like adding a color variable. These are semi-new in Webflow, so it knew what button to click. Obviously, it looks at the HTML, but it knows what button to click. And it did it out correctly.
Do you have Webflow AI?
No.
No. Okay. Because when that comes out and you have Webflow AI panel open, what the AI will probably do is ask the AI in Webflow to make the box green.
That would be so fun, because it's like, why should we spend tokens while the other AI can spend the tokens for me?
Exactly.
That is going. So, well, is this not like the optimum idea of sub agents? Like there is a agent telling other agents, hey, these are smaller tasks, you can do them, just go and do them.
That's exactly what a sub agent is. It's someone who's, or a skill, someone who's specialist in that field. It's like, look, you go and do it. And that's actually the distinct difference between skills and sub agents. Sub agents will work at something and iterate on whatever. It's like it's an agent, right? Whereas a skill is like it's a reference. It's not going to continually, it's still going to be the original agent that's working on it, just referencing the instructions from another agent. So
so the top agent will be like sometime in the future, maybe sorry, what?
I'm the top agent.
I want to say, like, you are the top dog. So the higher level agent than this would be on a browser. Now this is on a browser level, but maybe we'll have it on the Mac and on the operating system level, and then we'll have us, just talking to our operating system and saying, like, go do these things, and these like agents having sub agents and them having other sub agents. That's at least the idea, but I think we are pretty far from this future. I believe these AI tools, because of their current architecture, it's not that easy to scale them to that level. The amount of time they need and the amount of like tokens they need, because right now we talked about this like briefly at the start. OpenAI is losing a lot of money. Precisely, for every $1 that they are making, they are spending $3, which is not a viable business to think of. And we're talking about scaling that to multiple like x's, like to 100x, maybe to 1000x, because if I will say something to my browser and it can have like sub agents and do maybe multiple tasks, multiple tabs in the future, a lot of chat, imagine how many tokens that is. So
well, saying all that, I mean, like, I think the winner here will be potentially might even be Google, right? In that they've released the agent API, which is an on-device agent or LLM that can run without. Thing is, this is constantly sending images back and forth to the
Yeah.
server, right? And there's a lot of latency involved there. So really, this is a task that should be done natively on your local machine. It's bizarre that we would need to send anything like this off, really. Do you know, like this needs the idea of remote LLMs is, I think, will be an antiquated subject, because it will be like, well, this is so easy, it's so simple now. LLMs are so fast, or computers are so fast now, you might as well just do most of it. You know, really, you'd want to go, oh, maybe it's tool use. You could have it go off into the internet and find up-to-date data, but it could be that you send stuff off and get up to be able to get up-to-date data. But anyway, I think that, yeah, this is sort of should be done locally. But we said at the beginning of the show, well, I said, like, it's having me rethink what I do in the browser versus what I do on my computer, because I had Notion calendar and Notion mail, maybe no, just Notion, the Notion calendar I had, and I'm like, I'm missing out on a lot of opportunities if I'm having an app running. Why not put it into the browser? And so I've quit Notion calendar, and I've now got Google Calendar open up in a tab, because if I'm able to then, the more I'm able to move now into my browser, the more I'm able to leverage the agentic functionality of Comet. And so I'm just slowly rethinking again, what apps do I actually need? What benefits from being an app, or what benefits from being another browser tab? And so I'm in this kind of world now, and that's where I said to you, like, what do you determine as whether you should be using something in the browser versus what should you be using as an actual app?
Yeah, I fully agree. And I think for everybody, I don't know if you have seen this or not, this made a big splash, this podcast with Andrew Karpathy. I'm butchering his name, but I know the guy from, like, he was his days at Tesla. He was like, I believe, the head of Tesla self-driving. And then he left Tesla. And every time I've seen a podcast from him, it's incredibly interesting. And this one is from 6 days ago. And he basically dunks on LLMs. He's saying that they are, and he's the most pro AI guy that you find. And he is into the work. He has done the AI work and the architecture, and he knows his thing, right? What he's talking about is essentially that these LLMs are kind of like heavy in the sense that they don't have a lot of memory that the way we need them and the way we have memory, but they have learned a lot by, having like this ghost of the whole internet, right? And they are not as agentic as we want them. So what he's basically saying, he's saying that it's not going to change, the game not going to be changed in the next 1 or 2 years. It's something to happen over the next decade, having like true agents that can do work. And this is what I also truly like see with something like Atlas. When I use it for anything, when you understand like what these LLMs are, every time you chat, you're sending the entire conversation back to them. And what this tool is doing, what LLMs are doing, is predicting the next tokens, that like how likely it is to say something that is true. And that is kind of like far different from what we need to have like true agents, the way we envision them, or the way that ChatGPT is trying to sell to us. But with all of that being said, this is like very cool technology. I'm still figuring out how to use it. All the use cases every single use case that I had with it so far was something that I could do much, 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 much faster. The reason I did it with ChatGPT was just because of fun, because I wanted to try it, but not because it's really useful. But when it comes to writing, obviously, this is nice to have ChatGPT having the context that I need, just like Dia, RIP Dia now, like truly RIP Dia. It can have the context and it can help me with writing better instead of me copy pasting constantly. That's the only like logical use case that I have for Atlas for now. Like, I don't know how else I can use it for something useful. I don't know. If you have any idea, just let us know in the comments, because I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like, you know, it's just boring admin tasks that can just run in the background, you know.
But it doesn't run in the background, by the way. Like, you have to be on the tab
No, you don't.
for it to. Yes, you do.
Well, not on comment anyway, and it doesn't look like they did that to be on in the. They literally said this in the talk. They said you don't have to sit and watch it.
Change
You're
the
crazy.
red box to the black variable.
See, this is where you would need voice. You just go change the black.
Yes. Okay, so right now it's doing its thing, and from what I understand is
you can leave that tab. You can go and do your own thing.
I want to go to another tab, and it's actually working, but
That's what I'm saying. It's
I'm
the
pretty
wrong
sure
background.
I'm pretty sure it couldn't do that, or like it was okay. That's actually interesting and scary at the same time.
Yeah, because now you don't know what it's doing. Yeah, why would they do this if you have to sit there and watch it? You can set multiple agents to do multiple things.
Because of like security. Like, it could, like, I'm on another tab and it can do something else.
Why would they destroy their reputation? There's too much money at stake.
No, but that's not my point, because nobody can predict like what ChatGPT will do. Every single time we make a new prompt, the prompt is like the answer will be different because of the non-deterministic, nature of it. So
don't worry about it. Roll the dice and live your life.
I accidentally did something. I read it said I accidentally did something. Let's see if it can bind it to the variable. I don't want to make it just change the background color. It should bind it to the.
So you need a Webflow agent or a
Webflow
skill to know how to do that, because it probably will struggle. It has to understand where variables, unless you open up the variables thing.
Well, it didn't. Yeah.
Anyway, should we move on?
Actually, it did. Maybe. Yeah. I think it did. It's just like you have two ways to do it. Yeah. Do you have like other use cases for this?
Well, a billion. Exactly a billion, no more, no less.
No, it didn't do it. So it just chose the.
I would, I would open up the CMS thing, and then if you're putting data into the CMS, if we're in the context of Webflow, but then you potentially just use MCP for that anyway. But regardless, I want to say, if you're living in the world of browser, if you have one article open, you can transform data as well. So it could be that you're reading, you're on a blog post and you want to break that blog post up into individual blog posts, as an example. So divide, you know what I mean? So you can transform and reinterpret the data you're receiving. I think, again, it's just being a bit progressive with thinking, and I'm sure you'll find some use cases for it. I bet it'll be great for this podcast, and we could probably open up Notion in one of the tabs and then say, just fucking make some notes.
That's a good idea.
Instead of reading the notes and summarizing the page in the chat, just saying, can you make notes on this article? Put it in the Notion page.
Yeah. No.
Whilst you're off doing this, that, and the other, because again, it's going to be slow. Like it's not going to be. It's not your primary focus. It's your side quest.
Yeah, while you're scrolling TikTok.
While you're scrolling TikTok, while you're out touching some grass.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
I noticed that my Instagram stream.
Yes. I was going to say that. Yeah. So I got a message saying it disconnects after an hour. So if you want to reconnect it, send me the stream key in a private chat, and then I'll reconnect it. Yeah, I don't know why it's never done that before, is it?
No, it's not true.
And it was an alert to me as well. So I've definitely never seen that alert.
No, I've done like longer sessions, so it never had that issue. So do I need to? Yeah, I'll just need to do it again. public, and I'll send the key to the public comments.
Do you know, I'm while you're doing while you're doing
Yeah.
that, I'm chatting with DJI at the moment. Did you see my tweet earlier to GGI about like a known issue about this
DJI?
camera? DJI.
Yeah.
A known issue that this camera just disconnects from Mac M series laptops, right? Just disconnects. I'll be using it and it'll just disconnect. So I was like, and that reminded me, because I was using it today to record some stuff. And it reminded me that I spoke to them on a phone call, like maybe even 2 years ago, but like a year ago. And right, you should have added you. And reminded me that I spoke to him about the microphone, this microphone. And here you go. And reminded me that this just disconnects from Mac laptops as well when you connect it over Bluetooth. Anyway, I whinge and whine on Twitter about it. I don't want any help. I just was stating, like, is it like a DJI thing that they tell you they're working on something? They acknowledge a bug, tell you they're working on something, and then just don't do anything with it. Because I've seen it, and then obviously with this camera thing, because I didn't know about the camera thing last year when I first got it, Anyway, so I'm chatting with them on Twitter now, DMing them, and they're like sending me a bunch of stuff, like instructions on how to test for it. Try a different USB. It's like, dude, like I've done my fucking research. This is something that people suggested, but it just doesn't work. This is a known issue, and you yourself have acknowledged it and said you're working on a fix. Where's that fix? I don't want to chat with you on DMs. Where is that fucking fix? So annoying.
Yeah.
Please use the USB-C cable provided with the product. Actually, there was a USB-C cable provided with the product. Maybe I'll use that. But the point is, you're telling me what you've told a billion other people, but there's a known issue. Anyway, what would you do with 1 trillion tokens? Manus celebrate the launch of Manus 1.5, and they're giving away 1 trillion tokens for you to build your next app with them. So I love Manus. Manus is actually like an agent platform. It raises the questions on how relevant these agents are now, because they're all kind of like merging. They just focus on the agentic side, whereas ChatGPT was on the inference side. Well, now it's just merging into one. But Manus was pretty good. It would you could set it off to go build a report, do research, get me a slide deck, build a website. You could tell it to do a whole bunch of things, and it would just work through them. And they've now launched a web app builder, a vibe coding experience, and the initial interface is as you would expect it. Now, sorry, we're not showing any visuals, because I'm going to show you that I've set off a vibe app, right? I set it off to build me an AI application. I wanted to kind of go through it with you guys on the call anyway. So anyway, they've launched it. It's got real backends. It's got I think it's got authentication. I don't know. It's not. I know that authentication is not working on the app that I've built, but it seems pretty good. And I don't know about you, man, but are you getting so many companies come to you wanting to sponsor you, and it's just another vibe coding experience? Like, the amount of vibe code apps at the moment is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Are you getting that at all? Are you getting any sponsors?
Yes, I'm getting sponsors for.
Oh my god, it's just vibe code app fatigue, and it's just the race has been won. Anyway, just yet another one. But obviously, I've spoken about Manus before. I've used Manus before, and I've used Manus quite heavily before. So I'm interested in it. It's my show, so we're going to talk about it. But they're doing a competition, basically. If you can build the best app, they will give you 1 trillion LLM tokens. As a winning thing?
How can we add your screen to the stage?
There you go. That's funny.
No.
Yeah, got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Here it is. And it built it, and it one shot. This is a one shot. I haven't tested this. We're going to test it out on the call. Ask for my OpenAI API key. So it's only using ChatGPT for my LLM. I noticed it has created I need to wake it up.
So it's giving away 1 billion tokens.
1 trillion tokens if you can build the best app. So I don't think this is going to win any awards, to be honest, because this was just
how much? But it
has built a landing page, and it automatically redirects into this. Well, 1 trillion tokens. Well, it's funny you say that, because their usage it's a marketing thing. Their usage isn't in tokens. It's just kind of in credits. But this only took me 218 credits.
Okay, fair.
Whereas I did a leasehold thing here. It took me 1,000 tokens. I did like a whole research thing. So an app for 218 tokens. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. We're just having fun. So I thought we could try a new chat. I literally haven't done anything, so this could crash and burn. It would be nice if it works, given this is a one shot. So we're in a new conversation. Here we go. Tell me a joke. 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
It works.
Yeah,
it works. What I noticed is we've got a edit thing here where I can select things. So, okay, so it's got some basic UI editing. So there you go. Cool. That will make you happy. That's good. So exit edit mode. Yeah. I can obviously publish it. Over here, we've got dashboard. I'm assuming I'm not going to click that just yet. But we've got database here. And there it is. There's my user. I'm not going to click API keys. Messages. There's the messages. File storage. Settings. All that kind of stuff. Let's go dashboard, see what this says. Okay, so you've got usage data as well. And then finally, I wanted to show you the code. It looks like a pretty straightforward React app.
That's really clean and nice.
Not a full stack app, but yeah. I mean, I don't think people are going to be jumping on this because you got Lovable, right? You've got these dedicated apps. This is, again, just a one feature inside of Manus. Like I'll show you. I've used it. Like I've used it a lot. But yeah, you just I think it's one of these. Oh no, it's a website. You technically make a website and you just ask it to build something. Yeah. So yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised by that. And look, I can go into it. It's still there because it's in the database, so it works.
What was your initial prompt?
It's a bit personal, isn't it? Build an AI chat app. Build an AI chat. And then it came back to me with a couple of questions. And I said that I want to use OpenAI and that I want it to be focused on dark mode and that one other answer to the question. Oh, I said, what features do I want? And I said, all of the features, obviously. Oh, here we go. We can, I'm sorry. It's even on the freaking screen right now.
All the
key features, basic chat. Well, yeah, it suggested what features do I want, and I'm like, out of these 4 here. Sorry, you might be able to see that. Basic chat history, multiple conversations, user authentication, and file image upload. So actually, look, let's see if we can add an image. What one? Let's do this. This is just my thumbnail for my new video. Okay, I'll open. Let's say, what is this image of? Let's see because this is the whole thing. Like you need to upload an image to AI's. This is an image of Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla. Okay, so that's obviously not working. I don't know what that is.
Do you know the meme? This is Elon Musk.
No.
You don't know that? Oh my God. Chat. This is Elon. I need to search that.
Okay. Well, anyway, go build an app. Go build an app with Manus and get 1 trillion tokens. It's obviously not I think, we can talk about vibe coding just in general. I think we need to set expectations here with vibe coding not being we spoke about it last week, right? Not being this thing that's going to build the next $1 trillion company. Prompting can only get you so far before you need to really understand the architecture of an application and what the code does and things like this. But build your own little accountancy software, build your own little project management software the way that you want to use it. Lower your expectations and have fun, and try and just make yourself 10 times more productive, by building a little app. What have you got for us? Have you found this meme?
I found the meme. The meme, it's just like, I'll send it and just play the few seconds. So anytime you have it's just and it's literally,
it's just him.
Yeah. And the music, there's like,
I can just about hear the music. I don't know. I can hear strings. Or maybe I'm just high.
Yeah, it's just literally, I said, I typed "this is Elon," and then it, like, this Elon Musk meme was the rest, because this is like, you see somebody doing something like amazing, and then at the end of the clip they add this, or like just the soundtrack. They just add the soundtrack to something. So let's say somebody does something amazing in a game, the soundtrack is "this is Elon," somebody who's doing like some multi-level thinking engineering type of shit. So that's the meme.
Got it.
Okay, I'm glad that I'm updating you on memes.
Thank you. Should we move on?
Yes, of course.
Should we move on to Instagram, because I've got that up and ready?
Wait. Somebody is asking, can we add SAP S4 HANA? What is like HANA? This is like from AWS or not? Can we add SAP S4 HANA database as a source?
Let's go.
I don't know these technologies.
I don't know this technology either, but we can infer it from the code itself. So where would it be? It would be in a lib, trpc, no. Utils. I'm looking for something to connect to the database. Probably not in core. Drizzle, maybe. No, that's for migrations. We can see it's a Postgres database. I would say. Oh, here we go. No, it isn't. It is. Sorry, it is a full stack Express app. So it's an Express app. So this is obviously connecting to Postgres, MySQL 2. So it's a MySQL database. Yeah. There we go. And it's using Drizzle. So if your database, whatever it is, I actually don't know what database you're referring to. Yeah, you can connect your own database. I think this is an interesting point, though. It's like we're being conditioned to need something to support something. Let's say Zapier as an example. You search for Google Drive to be able to integrate with Google Drive, and you expect those sort of things.
Yeah.
When you have access to the code, the world is your oyster. You can do anything that you want. You don't need to wait for an integration. Sometimes they help, and they can make it a lot easier and quicker too. If it says you could just add Google Drive, or you can add Superbase to it. Like Lovable is a good example when they had the Superbase, button or whatever. I'm just opening up this link that you sent.
It's
all that is a shortcut, but it does not mean that you can't in the code add that. And then the beautiful thing is with AI is that you can ask it to do it. So enterprise ready. So if this is a third, if this in of itself has an API or some way, here we go. I can see API there. So if this platform stores the database, then all you need to do is I mean, I'm presuming this, you know how to use this. Yeah, it's not, it, what would be a good, Replit as another example. All Replit does is use Neon. So you don't get it's linked to the owner of Replit's Neon account, right? You can't log in and go, you can't play with the raw database, but I could point it to my personal Neon database and it to work just as easy. I could point it to my Superbase database. If this is an externally hosted database with an API wrapping around it, so you can do basic CRUD things, or if it has like some sort of library or whatever, long story short is absolutely. I don't know this enough. I don't know this database thing enough. So yeah, I don't know if that answers the question. I'd love to have some sort of response, because it's a way of thinking that I'm just observing, or a trend that I'm seeing, where people just, unless they see some sort of integration, they question whether it's even possible. But with code, everything is possible.
Yeah.
TM.
No.
Does that make sense as a non-coder? Does that make sense? And does that?
Yes, it does. So for me, the way I see it, I get similar questions about Webflow, because I teach Webflow, and I know with Webflow you don't have like full access to the backend, or much access to the like CMS and the backend, but still, like, some people say, can I add this and that? And the answer to basically all of it is yes, because like obviously you can export the code, or you can add custom code. When you can add custom code, obviously you can add any integration that exists, because you can.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because it would be interesting to know why they're asking the question. Maybe I should have asked that first. But like, they could be trying to make a purchasing decision.
They're saying,
you kind of want to know if you can do something in it before you make a purchasing decision. However, if they are deep in it and they're already using it, then there's something fundamental about Webflow that they're not quite understanding. And that's
Webflow would be different.
Now, right?
Webflow would be a different story, but yes.
Yeah. Thanks for the question.
Yeah, he's saying it's an API integration is very much possible in SAP. That's great. If
where is the database stored then? Is that stored on the cloud, or do you? Well, obviously it's stored on the cloud, but is the database something that you need to spin up on a server somewhere, or is that website that we were just on? Is that the cloud platform where the database lives? I'm presuming you can do both. But like, I'm just curious to know if it's
knowing that SAP is a like enterprise system. I don't know if actually you could
yourself.
So
you probably need to create a wrapper for it to accept APIs, and then maybe even Express server or something like that. But
he says it works on PAS.
I don't know what that is. Enterprise shit is not my forte.
PAAS. I don't know what that is either.
Platform as a service.
Platform as a service.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting
for BTP on Google. He said
BTP. I mean, we're getting too in the weeds now. But, I appreciate the question, and
thank you for the comment. But this is like extreme. Platform as a service confirmed. This is like extreme enterprise stuff. Interesting.
Yeah, as long as there's an API wrapping it and you can perform basic CRUD operations on it, then doesn't matter. It's mostly, I think, probably natively. It would be worth looking into actually just what database, because it might just support MySQL 2 database. It might not support Postgres, as an example. But there might be a few database relational database formats that it actually supports natively, that it integrates with natively, that you don't even need to leave Manus. Whereas again, with code, the world's your oyster. You don't even need to use the integrated database if you don't want to. Let's move on to this cheeky picture of the Instagram CEO.
So this might be the biggest AI rollout. Instagram has 3 billion monthly users, and they just introduced an AI image editor for your stories. So if you swipe the pictures that you have on your screen, or I'll just add my screen.
I'm doing it now. What would be a
So
photo?
so check our restyle. They are calling it restyle,
Okay.
and you can AI prompt your images and just, I don't know, like do funny styles or deep fake stuff.
Okay, so it's a story. It's not a.
Yeah, and you can just basically prompt your image to, to be different and to be more fake.
I'm not
Yay.
seeing that. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's not.
seeing.
Yeah, it's not like immediate rollout for everybody, from what I
Okay.
understand. It's coming out, and yeah, it's coming out, and it will be soon available to 3 billion people to, faken their stories even more.
Yeah, I want to use it. So what can it do?
Yeah,
What is it?
it's just like,
Restyle.
yeah, it's just like nano banana, like you
It's
like
come with it.
having nano
Okay,
banana in your
here we go.
stories.
Check out the styles. So it's a nice little photo of him in some very very long trousers. Oh, sorry, I'm sharing my screen as well. I'm
Yeah,
not looking at your
like
one.
if you just look at my,
Okay, Nano Banana. Okay, so it is
yeah,
Nano Banana. It is Nano Banana.
exactly, there's nano banana in your stories. And I'm saying that this is a big rollout because, this is available to everybody, and a lot of people on Instagram are there with like private accounts. Like most people are not influencers, they're like
Mhm.
private accounts and like
Yeah,
sharing images
friends
with
and
friends.
family.
And I think at least for a minute, it will be fun to, to take a story picture and, share it with your friends and family and do something
Yeah.
funky with it. And they'd be probably like, your mom and dad or like grandmas would be like, oh, what's happening there? Like, what is that thing you're wearing? You
Mm.
can do funny stuff.
I
This
will.
could obviously be also bad, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I will
whatever.
definitely
This is,
be doing some silly things to my friends. If we can
yes.
be specific and say, that guy to the left of me, well, make him into a banana.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe you can circle around people. I don't know exactly what is the mechanics of editing, but it's interesting, especially that it's rolling out to so many people. Like the
Mm.
scale of this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I wonder how they'll do it. I mean, obviously they will just whether there's like some sort of intro or some sort of onboarding thing, because again, people just don't grasp it. It doesn't look like there's any mention of AI though. It's just like
yeah,
restyle.
yeah.
It's
It's
not
just
AI, it's
restyle.
restyle.
Yeah.
There we go.
What model do you think they are using under
I literally think this is Nano Banana.
Nana Banana? Yeah.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah. It's the one that's proven very consistent with unaffecting. Same with VO 3.1. Very good at not really affecting anything else and
Yeah.
just making the change that you want.
So it's kind of like soon we'll have like Snapchat filters, but not limited to a specific filter. This is like
Mm,
literally your imagination. So maybe very soon the tech is available today, but not at that
mm,
scale, not on your Instagram app. But soon you will also make a video of yourself and then have a
mm.
funny filter that you want on yourself, which is
Yeah.
like really fun until it gets to obviously like mental health and people trying to fake their lives, and that part is not that fun. But
The
I'm
thing
kind of like,
is,
I have to talk about it.
his layout is very different to my layout. And I wonder, let's have a little look on the App Store. I'm curious to know how far you can push it. Push it.
Yeah,
Push it
there
good.
will be some guardrails, but making your skin more beautiful or
Okay.
things like this, people will obviously do all of that.
Jesus Christ, I have not updated any of the apps on my phone for a long time, and Instagram is one of them. 47 apps I can I can
Oh.
update now. Jesus Christ, let myself down. Right, so I've just updated Instagram. I doubt it's going to be there because it just says bug fixes. So
yeah, I haven't tried that. I should have as well, but maybe this is a US thing, and we in the
okay, yeah, I'm not seeing any restyle yet.
Instagram.
I'm not seeing any restyle. Anyway, very good. Very nice. Very good. Might explain why half the apps are so bloody choppy because of liquid glass. They still haven't figured that out yet, have they?
Yeah.
Let it do its thing. Let's move on to Framer ad.
Yeah.
We just wind it down now.
Yes. Yeah,
so I don't know. This is.
Let me share that. Actually, am I sharing the sound as well?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Shall I do it?
Yeah, if you have voice sharing, yes.
Okay, because it is good. Add to stage.
Okay, so Framer came out with another ad. I saw it on my timeline and I didn't watch it for two reasons. One, because I immediately saw it's an AI ad, and then I was like, it's Framer, it's not an update. I know what Framer is. This is an AI ad. I'm not gonna spend time watching it, even though because of the show later on, I ended up watching it. It's quite funny, but I know you have your thoughts on it. So
yeah,
let's watch it first.
Everybody's got a free plan. The first 3 are free, but it's never really free.
Let me just see your credit card.
Hope you can work fast. With Framer, you can actually design for free, without limits. Design websites, create marketing assets, even generate layouts with AI. You only pay when you publish a website. So start designing for free today.
They're just artboards, man.
So yeah, pretty funny.
Pretty funny.
I mean, by the way,
very true.
It's not very true, as we went over last week, but it is a very good justification for paying for their site plans, which are expensive. You might even say it might
extremely expensive
justify the cost. But anyway, that's separate. That's not what we're here to talk about.
So the ad essentially is saying, come, we are free, and until we are like very expensive. And I mean, you look at the pricing and you know it for yourself. I don't have to go too much on a rant about this, but the ad being AI, you don't like that, do you?
It's not that I don't like it. Like I commented, maybe it's even here. So I commented mostly in surprise that they are getting so much praise from you guys. Okay. And I'm like, hang on, this is a community that traditionally just does not like AI, stealing from creators and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, they're getting praised for it. A lot of these comments are, love this, excellent work, it looks great, whatever. I'm like, oh, it's so funny. And I'm thinking it's probably because it's not web design and people only dislike things when it encroaches on their skill set. Regardless, a secondary thought was me, like, the first one was kind of funny. It was the clown. You remember the clown putting on the face paint? And what was the overall message? It was something along the lines of like,
Framer can do it all, essentially.
Can't do it all. Like it's not production ready. It's not a business tool, and he's whatever. Anyway, and I was like, well, that first one was fine. It's cool, but to do it again, it's not
free.
Hard. This is not hard to do. Like a green screen, trashed old van. I mean, it's quite.
But why?
But sorry.
Why? Why should they? Why should they use? Like, why should they make their life difficult if they can just prompt it?
because again, it's just because it's from an industry that, you know, a lot of them are just very sensitive about the fact that, I probably will share it again. Again, that you're putting people out of work, and that you're taking or stealing intellectual property from people who worked hard to be able to train these models and this and that and the other. So it's not like, so I don't have a huge problem with it. It just doesn't sit right with me when we have been like slated, or, you know, I personally have been attacked because of this very reason. You know, when I spoke about Nano Banana, people were very upset. It's like, you know, it's just steals and stuff like this. So it just didn't sit right. And I said this to the founder, right? I've been chatting to the founder. I think it's the founder or CEO, one of the two. And all I said was, it just doesn't sit right with me. It's like, I'm obviously a big believer of AI, and like, I accept that things are stolen. And in fact, I let my stuff be stolen. Like, I don't mind Claude training on my data. I said yes to all that and whatever. So I don't personally have much of an issue. If they get, but then we get into the creative aspects, right?
Yeah.
Creativity exists to push the boundaries of technology and think of it in a different way. And, you know, a friend of mine does AI art, and she's able to create things that she couldn't possibly create. You know, it's just impossible. These things don't exist. It's dreamlike and all this, that, and the other. If AI is just being used to drive a van onto the frame, and then someone leans out and says it's free, or some dodgy girl is like trying to lure someone in, like, that's not exactly creative in my eyes. The idea is creative, but you don't need AI to do that. This felt like it was more of like, let's just not spend a bunch of money and do something. Like, it's just, yeah. As I say, I'm not overly against it. I conceded with I've forgotten his name. In the end, I said, look, all I'm Jure, probably something, Jure Oldkamp. You know, I don't. He thought I undermined the amount of work that goes into it. No doubt, I know the amount of work that goes into this sort of stuff. It's not that. It's just, again, it's just coming from a technical or a creative lens from an industry that typically tries to avoid or gets shunned for anything AI. So, you know, but it looks like his response was ultimately they've tried spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on production companies, and ultimately the outcome isn't very good, and it's so delayed that it's no longer relevant, the messages. Because if there's one thing to praise, is that Framer responding quite immediately to an idea, right, or a theme that's being talked about. So this was their way of saying, look, we can be more relevant by using AI. I did say maybe you should just build your own in-house studio. You don't need, like, especially if that's all you're doing, just friggin' have a green screen room and a camera and hire a few actors. You're putting people in work there. And he did respond saying you should see the thing they're building. So I think they are making some movements to be able to actually create this sort of stuff. But yeah, it was interesting. I didn't know how other people felt. Open, I can see the other side already, but I wondered if you had any thoughts about it anyway.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I'm opposed to AI creating slop. I'm opposed to.
But what is slop? I don't understand that word anymore.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of clear. Slop, it's like low quality, both in visual, but also in effort. To me, slop is low effort, something that doesn't have quality, it doesn't have creativity, it doesn't have effort. That is slop. Something that is mass produced, targeted at people to just beg for their attention, mostly in malicious way, almost always in malicious way. And it doesn't have any human connection. I do watch some AI generated memes, videos that my friends sent to me, because the person who made this had the same like thought that that we are we are kind of like united by that thought, and people share that idea previously as like very low quality. Do you remember those Facebook memes, just the stick figures? They existed in that way, and now they are like in much more sophisticated AI versions, like video. It's the same thing. If it can connect us, it's not slop. It could be funny. It's not slop. But if it has none of those things, and there are a bunch of content like that, it's slop. Low effort. Now I want with that to show another ad. This is by Honor, of a concept phone. And this is also AI generated, like not 100%, but like many shots are AI generated. Like these shots are obviously AI generated, and you can see artifacts happening. This is AI generated. So this also honestly didn't feel good. This felt like, a big company just putting out something just for attention, and there is no intentionality or like realness into it. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's not as bad. It's not as bad as the other type of slop that I'm talking about, because it, okay, communicating an idea. But it is AI generated. It is AI generated and doesn't feel really good. Apparently, Samsung did the same, but I couldn't find the source. I just know it from the Friday Checkout, one of my favorite YouTube channels, by the way. This is an ad by Samsung, and it's AI generated, and it seems like there is no intentionality. It's just like, okay, an alien giving you a rose, whatever. It's, yeah, kind of. This is like the definition of slop for me. Like, what the hell is this trying to say? With the other one, maybe, okay, at least I have this concept phone. Now with Framer, I don't have an issue with the video using AI at all. The only issue I have with that video is that it's not really, it's technically correct. It's technically, yes, it's free to use for design, but actually, like in reality, Framer is not free. It's also very expensive. It's just that.
But why
that's the
do you
reality.
why do you need AI to communicate that message?
You need any tool. Like
why?
why?
At least with Honor, they're showing something. What you expect them to build a concept phone like this and have it work mechanically and this and that. Like, the argument is that, by the way, I'm not all I'm.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. To me, it's just use of tools. So you could make the same argument. Why do you use Webflow? Why don't you hand code it in HTML? Because you're putting people out of work, people who would hand code with HTML. Now they don't do that anymore. Simple website, you just use a tool, or you completely AI generated. I don't have an issue with the tool being updated, and people have to keep. It's the same with, why did you use Nano Banana to Photoshop that pictures of you putting your a banana costume? You could go on Amazon and buy an.
Well, no, because I couldn't go on Amazon and buy a banana costume to demonstrate the power of an AI photo editor. Like,
but you get my point, right?
Well,
I don't have an issue with the tool. I have an issue with the sloppiness of the quality.
Okay. Well, I mean, funny enough, because Yuri even said, like, it's wild, like, when we talk about no-code tools and this and that and the other. And I said to him, yeah, it's hypocritical, isn't it? That we are all leveraging a level of abstraction that at one point has put someone out of work, whether it's, again, we talk about calculator, whether we talk about farming, whether we talk about no-code tools, all this. So it is hypocritical. And I didn't send this to him because I deleted it, not because it wasn't, because it was offensive or anything like that. But I did say, I said that I think everyone just has this invisible line that no one can agree on. Well, some people might be able to agree on it, but we're all operating at different levels on this line of what is acceptable or what is slop. Like, it's a semantic thing that we're never all going to agree on. So it's fine to disagree. It's fine to observe. And I love hearing your side. I love hearing Yuri's side. It's interesting. I'm not gonna try and battle or try and change your mind. All I'm going to do is present my case as best as I can, because I believe that I'm right. You believe that you're right. Nothing to get upset over or anything like that. And I was happy to, again, concede the argument. I didn't want to keep on arguing. I presented my case and mostly just wanted to, again, draw it back to this idea that, again, designers specifically will get upset. Photoshop artists will get upset that you're using AI when you could have just hired someone, especially a company. I know Framer aren't as big as they, as big as one might think, but I feel like they could probably hire some people to do what they achieved in AI. But anyway, whatever, it is what it is. I just thought it would be nice if they were a bit more creative with the use of AI than just having a car drive off on the screen and someone dressed up as a hillbilly or whatever it is. There's much more interesting ways you could push AI, but it still looks good. They use Sora 2. And it probably cost them, don't know, because obviously it took a few hours.
How many tries? How many tries? They obviously, have multiple versions and they edit them and they see which one is better. So there is quite some work behind it. I do find the idea of the video pretty funny.
Yeah, they're always
if they were free. If they were truly free. Yeah.
Andy also, I think, is the guy he probably plays around with it and goes to Yuri and says, "Hey, this is what I built," and they're like, "Cool, let's use it." No idea, but I think it's Andy guy who's the hype videos for Framer.
Yeah.
So anyway,
so should we move on? We have 3 other things to talk about quickly. Yeah.
Well, let's just real quick this hilarious video of someone.
You should share your screen.
Yeah, I am.
So somebody generated an AI lawyer and brought it in court, actually trying to play it to defend him. So let's see.
Let's refresh.
May it please the court.
So dumb.
I come here today a humble pro se before a panel of 5 distinguished justices.
Is this? Hold on. Is that counsel for the case?
This is the defendant.
I generated that.
I'm sorry?
I generated that.
That is not a real person.
It's a new sentence. I generated that.
Okay. It would have been nice to know that when you made your application. You did not tell me that, sir. I received the application. And you have appeared before this court and been able to testify verbally. In the past, you have gone to my clerk's office and held verbal conversations with our staff for over 30 minutes. Okay? I don't appreciate being misled. So either you are suffering from an ailment that prevents you from being able to articulate, or you don't. You are not going to use this courtroom as a launch for your business, sir. So if you are able to shut that off. If you want to have oral argument
That's
time,
so
you
good.
may stand up and give it
God.
to me.
I would like to hear the
May it
AI
please the
argument.
court.
So can
I come
you
here today a humble
mute it? So you can check also the comments, a few comments. The comments were really funny. Have you seen Suits?
Yes.
I wish the guy would use one of their characters for the AI.
This was funny. Why did they put it back up? It's like, the court ain't pleased.
The court ain't pleased.
That's funny.
I guess not. It was really funny. Like what people will do with AI, it will be crazy.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
shall I share my screen with the next one?
yeah, if you share your screen with the next one is also fine. So the next Webflow update is huge, and I'm here for it. It's the real-time collaboration that we've been waiting for it for quite some time. They are rolling it out over the next few weeks. That I'm not really happy about that. I wish I had access yesterday. But yeah, you can like work in Webflow with multiple developers doing development. I've tried this actually in the beta, and it's magical. I tried it with a few teammates.
Is this real? Can you talk to people?
Yes. Talk to people? No, you don't talk to people. No, not like
fake.
that. Yeah. This is not real. So what we do this in Discord, by the way. So what we did, we normally work in Discord, and somebody was making a class, and somebody else was duplicating an element, and somebody else was like using those classes, and it all worked. It was all working on the same page, on the same element, on like similar elements on different pages. It worked. There are a few edge cases. There are things that don't work. For example, not like you can't work on an animation at the same time with your teammate, which kind of also makes sense. Like, who is going to control what? But they can be building the elements, and you can be animating them. Somebody could be building the CMS. I'm not talking about like editing the CMS content, like literally the CMS collections and the things that is needed for that. Somebody could be coding for whatever that is needed for there, and somebody else like styling it, and that is so good. We really need this. Or working on multiple pages. So 2 years ago we finished a project in 9 days with 14 pages in 9 days. That was crazy. And the way we did it, we had one source of truth, and then one person was working on that source of truth and merging, and 3 other people, so 4 people in total, 3 other people, we were making like sections. Essentially, we were making sections, looking at the source of truth and be like, okay, we use these classes, and then we would allow him to copy paste them, and he would sync the classes. And that way 14 pages in 9 days. That's not, but now we can do the same thing probably in a week, in a much less, with much less hassle, and that's really nice. Yeah,
it's been a long time coming. Like, I'm surprised it took so long. I mean,
yes,
I don't think any other tool has really done this though, have they?
Well, Framer has real-time collaboration.
Okay. And Figma.
Well, with Figma, I assume it's much easier, I think, because it's in Figma, you don't have classes, you don't have CSS to sync. Like, everything is named like group 5,000,000,2,100, something like this, in Webflow, the cleanness of the code makes it difficult. Even in Framer, you don't have classes. It's all managed by React generated classes. So yeah, Webflow being clean and scalable made it hard for themselves to build that, but I'm happy that it's here now.
Yeah. Wow. Will be.
Will be in the next few days. Webflow, if you're watching this, please give me access. I had access. Give me access.
All you do for them, for everything that you do for them, and they won't give you access.
No, actually, I if I message, I don't know if the rollout will work for that, because I'm in some beta sometimes, but yeah, I don't know if I could ask them for that now. They are programmatically rolling it out. Anyway, we can go to the next piece of content, the last thing that we want to talk about, and that is website of the week. So every week, a website that I believe like makes the news, or people talk about it, or it's just good, maybe we can show it. And this is one of them, made by Off-Brand. Like, it's a Webflow agency. They are super creative and talented. And the guy behind this is also important, like the guy behind these effects and animation, Federico. So he also has like a GitHub, like a really nice GitHub that I started like to follow and see like what I can learn from him. But yeah, he does this magic. Now type disco, just on your keyboard. Type
really
disco.
performant, by the way.
Yes, it is. It is amazing.
Wow, it's like Daft Punk.
Yeah, it's really cool. So if you scroll down, you see like
That's the problem with these websites. There's no indication to scroll down. I would never have scrolled down.
No, I don't know. You would scroll down. You like people scroll down on websites.
No. That's the big UX boo. That is, I reckon. I would never.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, these are like creative websites. Anyway, so if you scroll down, you get a WebGL calendar of sorts. It's quite impressive how smooth everything feels like.
It's really performant. I don't like the scroll hijacking. I've never liked scroll hijacking.
Yeah.
The helmets are well cool.
Really cool.
I don't know what is this like Lando? Is he a driver?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Very cool.
I should know better for somebody who likes go-kart. Yeah, this is from the Maiden with GSAP library. At least that, like, I recognize the pattern. I'm not sure if they use that. Where is that calendar? So if you go up a little bit, a bit up, maybe here, like below the helmets.
Well, these are dates on them. Visit of view off.
View on track. Yeah, maybe click that, maybe.
What
was that button? If you scroll down, that is also super cool. You see, did you see that image effect? Yeah, this is like super nice. Also like how it came to be.
A lot of painstaking hours would have gone into
yes.
I mean, like, you look at that.
It's really nice. And if you scroll even further, I really want to see that. Yeah, that I think you showed it. It was somewhere maybe below. No, maybe below. That one. Yeah. And you can navigate this. Can you and these are like HTML elements, I believe, because you can select them. But this is like a slider. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah, you see. This is so freaking smooth. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Super cool website, and Federico, he's the man. He's just like insane. He's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool website. This is built on Webflow, and obviously there are some 3D with 3JS and WebGL, and they are using Rive. So some of the animations, I don't know which ones specifically, but there are some Rive animations. But it's easy. If you want to go and check it, you can find out which ones are made with Rive.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, that's all we have time for this week. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube at Command AI Show. And join us next week for all the news in AI, design, and dev. I've been Samuel.
And I'm Kabarza.
Keep on vibing.
Peace out.